anaerobic digestate biorefinery conversion. Hello everyone, my name is Kian Yu, and today I'll be presenting the first part of our group project on the treatment and utilization of anaerobic digestion digestate. This project focuses on sustainable waste management practices and how we can treat digestate, a byproduct of food waste treatment, to make it more environmentally and economically viable. Let's dive right in and look at the key findings of this part of the project. In this section, we highlight some of the key findings of our study on digestate treatment. First, we looked at two main treatment methods, composting and biodrying. Composting is effective because it stabilizes organic matter and eliminates pathogens, producing nutrient-rich compost that can be used in agriculture. Biodrying, on the other hand, reduces moisture content, which is crucial for preparing digestate for disposal or further processing. We also explored the innovative approach of combining digestate with biochar. This combination is beneficial for soil health, increases crop yield, and even sequesters carbon, providing a more environmentally friendly alternative compared to traditional fertilizers. Our experimental findings showed that treated digestate significantly improves soil properties and promotes better plant growth. It boosts soil nitrification activity and enhances crop nutrient content. Lastly, from both an environmental and economic perspective, proper treatment of digestate can reduce the reliance on synthetic fertilizers, improve soil health, and save costs for farmers by boosting agricultural yields. Now let us discuss what anaerobic digestion is and what we mean by digestate. Anaerobic digestion is a biological process where microorganisms break down organic material, such as food waste, in the absence of oxygen. This process produces biogas, primarily methane, and digestate. Digestate is rich in essential nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus, making it a valuable byproduct for agriculture. However, it also contains a lot of organic matter and sometimes potentially toxic substances, which means it needs to be treated before it can be safely used. Currently, digestate is often disposed of through landfilling or incineration. These methods are harmful to the environment and waste valuable nutrients that could be recycled back into the soil. Therefore, we need to find more sustainable and effective ways to treat digestate. Before we get into the specifics of our study, it is important to define some key terms that we will be using throughout the project. First, anaerobic digestion is the process of breaking down organic material without oxygen, which produces biogas and digestate. Digestate is the nutrient-rich byproduct left after anaerobic digestion. While it is full of useful nutrients, it can contain harmful substances that require treatment. Composting is a biological process that decomposes organic matter aerobically, producing a stable, nutrient-rich product. Biodrying is another treatment method that reduces moisture content in digestate using microbial heat, making it easier to handle. Lastly, biochar is charcoal made from biomass through pyrolysis. It is used to improve soil properties and can also help sequester carbon, which contributes to climate change mitigation. The main objectives of our study are to evaluate how effective composting and biodrying are in treating at digestate. Explore the potential of combining biochar with digestate to create a better fertilizer, and assess the impact of treated digestate on soil and crops. Through this research, we hope to offer sustainable and economically viable solutions for treating at digestate and improving agricultural practices. Now, it is time for the second part. Composting, a predominant technology for the treatment of solidigestate, eliminates pathogens and stabilizes organic matter through aerobic microbial decomposition and the high temperatures generated by these reactions. Various chemical reactions, including nitrification and aminification, occur during the composting of food waste digestate, which are interdependent with the microbial community present to process sedigestate. As the compost matures, the nutrients in the FWD digestate are conserved and transformed into a compost product that is rich in organic matter and nutrients, suitable for agricultural applications to enhance soil quality and provide essential nutrients to plants. In the composting process, water content significantly influences the composting dynamics. Biodrying is a process that reduces the water content of digest by harnessing the heat generated during the metabolic processes of microorganisms, supplemented by external heat sources. Biodrying technology involves the evaporation of moisture from the substrate as surface, transitioning from a liquid to a gaseous state, and the vapor is transported through the air stream. Additionally, some free water is drained and collected at the base. Beyond water evaporation, biodrying preserves nutrients within the humus and mitigates or eliminates harmful substances through the decomposition action of thermophilic microorganisms. Fertilizer, which is the combination of biochar and anaerobic digested waste. This kind of fertilizer could reduce the amount of nitrogen that may be activated in the soil and sequesters carbon, partially compensating for the increase in carbon dioxide emissions due to the presence of activatable forms of carbon in the remaining organic residues. This combination of biochar and anaerobic digested waste is more effective than using biochar alone and chemical fertilizers alone. Each plant was individually planted in a pot with 400 grams of soil. In each pot, only 2 corn seeds has been sown at a temperature of 20 degrees Celsius and a relative humidity of 60% for 5 weeks. After 5 weeks, the corn is ready for harvest. From the above graphs, the height of the corn was significantly higher, which treated with biochar and anaerobic digested waste, than which treated with biochar. For analyzing the characterization of the soil, it is mainly to analyze the pH, fluorescein diacetate hydrolytic activity, total oxidizable organic carbon, and electrical conductivity of the soil. The experiment was divided into a total of 2 groups. First is the control group, and it is composed by common chemical fertilizers. The second one is the experimental group, which is also divided into 2 groups, a group with only biochar and a group with fertilizer made from a combination of biochar and anaerobic digested waste. The specific experimental results are as above. All of the soil parameters were significantly higher in the biochar and anaerobic digested waste treatment than in the control. and all of the soil parameters were significantly higher in the anaerobic digested waste treatment than in the biochar treatment only. In conclusion, as biochar and anaerobic digested waste increase, the biological activity in soil increased, and the fertilizer compost, with combination of anaerobic digested waste and biochar in the experiment, can improve the growth of plants to a greater extent.
Summary. With the growth of global economy and population, food waste is increasing, and the application of anaerobic digestion technology in food waste treatment is more and more extensive, but the treatment and utilization of digestive products, biogas residue, has become a prominent problem. Characteristics of food waste biogas residue. The concentration of ammonia nitrogen in food waste biogas residue is high, and the phosphorus content mainly comes from adenylate, nucleic acid, and phospholipid in raw materials. Compared with sewage sludge and manure, the heavy metal content in food waste biogas slurry is significantly lower, which is more suitable for the production of environmentally friendly organic fertilizer. Direct land application is limited by specific nutritional parameters and heavy metal pollution, and most of the biogas residue needs to be partially hot-dried or enhanced mechanical separation to meet the standards. Biostabilization composting. Aerobic composting is the main treatment technology for the solid part of biogas residue. Which can remove pathogens, stabilize organic matter, and reduce volume, but the success depends on raw material characteristics, temperature, ventilation, moisture, pH, such as moisture needs to reach 40 to 60%, and the CN ratio needs to be balanced. For example, mixing the digestate with sawdust and the organic fraction of municipal solid waste can adjust the CN ratio. Compared with inert plastic rings, sawdust is a better bulking agent. It can absorb moisture, increase the CN ratio, and act as a nitrogen sink to reduce ammonia emissions by 98% and nitrous oxide emissions by 64% with a high carbon bulking agent, such as sawdust, may hinder the composting performance, and adding mature compost may help improve the degradation of organic matter. A composting formula suitable for different scenarios should be developed. To further reduce nitrogen loss, it is necessary to realize the effective integration of microbial and physical chemical additive mitigation strategies. The biogas residue market remains to be developed. The importance of product standardization is increasing, and high-quality fertilizer products are expected to become the profit growth point of biogas plants.
It is about key economic benefits of treated digestate. There are 3 important economic advantages of using the treated digestate. First, cost savings. Reducing the reliance on synthetic fertilizers lowers the input costs for farmers. Second, enhanced soil health. The improved soil fertility and structure can increase crop yields. Third, circular economy. The utilization of waste materials supports sustainable agricultural practices.
However, there are also some confounding factors affecting the economic benefits. For example, the variability in feedstock composition. Differences in nutrient content can affect the efficacy of digestate as a fertilizer. Market fluctuations can also change the perceived economic advantage of using digestate. A rise in synthetic fertilizer prices may increase the interest in digestate, while a drop may decrease it. Additionally, regulatory frameworks play a role. Supportive policies can enhance the adoption rate, while strict regulations may create barriers. In terms of the environment, we need to consider two main issues. One is greenhouse gas emissions. The potential emissions during storage and application must be managed to minimize the environmental impact. For example, methane release during storage if not properly managed. The other is the risk of nutrient runoff. Improper application can lead to nutrient leaching and affect water quality. For instance, excessive runoff can cause algal blooms in nearby water bodies. Finally, the limitations and future directions of the research. The current research has some limitations. For example, variations in environmental conditions during trials may affect the results, and controlled studies are needed to validate the findings. Future research directions include focusing on optimizing the treatment process for better nutrient recovery and exploring innovative application techniques to minimize costs and environmental impacts.